Developing human capital is a cornerstone of many philanthropic funders in biomedical research. They focus on nurturing talented individuals, often at the early stages of their careers. Investments in junior-level researchers are considered high risk but come with high prestige. These programs are both competitive and prestigious. The Doris Duke Charitable Foundation supports physician scientists at various career stages. They provide fellowships, junior faculty awards, and support for mid to senior level investigators. This network fosters role models, mentees, and collaborations. Table 38.1 lists these DDCF grant programs and similar ones from other foundations. It includes a sample of general award programs, excluding disease-specific ones. Many health agencies offer similar programs within targeted disease areas. For instance, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society supports young investigators. Researchers they supported have won Nobel Prizes and developed key drugs for childhood leukemia. Philanthropic funding is often more flexible than government grants. This flexibility is crucial for long-term clinical research projects. Philanthropic programs also convene awardees for professional development. These sessions ensure the development of critical skills for success. This flexibility can influence junior investigators to choose foundation awards over government funding. An example is a laboratory management course by HHMI and Burroughs Wellcome Fund. The course covers leadership, hiring, managing time, and balancing priorities. The course content formed the basis for a book, Making the Right Moves. The book has been adapted for use in developing nations as Excellence Everywhere. Other resources include training scientists to make the right moves and short publications on career development. Creating and strengthening fields is a significant contribution of the philanthropic sector. It helps build scientific fields, establishing academic homes and infrastructure. The Whitaker Foundation contributed over $700 million to biomedical engineering. It supported research, curriculum development, and faculty hires. This investment is now leveraged by other funding agencies, notably the NIH. Foundations targeting rare diseases can nucleate a community of scientists. The Chordoma Foundation convened researchers to set a research agenda. Philanthropic organizations can fund areas like stem cell research where government support is limited. Building and supporting institutions is a crucial role of the philanthropic sector. Philanthropic donors significantly support leading US academic medical centers. Large grants, like the W.M. Keck Foundations to USC, strengthen medical research institutions. Targeted investments also play a key role. The Donald W. Reynolds Foundation invested in cardiovascular research centers. They committed over $157 million to interdisciplinary centers. The Dallas Health Study at UT Southwestern advanced our understanding of heart disease. Philanthropy also establishes new research institutes with novel structures. The Broad Institute, created by the Broad Foundation, exemplifies this. Led by Eric Lander, it fosters interdisciplinary research. The Howard Hughes Medical Institute's Janelia Farm also promotes innovative interdisciplinary work. Opened in 2006, it offers a creative environment for long-term projects. Janelia Farm focuses on neural circuits and new imaging technologies. Building and supporting institutions is a crucial role of the philanthropic sector. Philanthropic donors significantly support leading US academic medical centers. Large grants, like the W.M. Keck Foundations to USC, strengthen medical research institutions. Targeted investments also play a key role. The Donald W. Reynolds Foundation invested in cardiovascular research centers. They committed over $157 million to interdisciplinary centers. The Dallas Health Study at UT Southwestern advanced our understanding of heart disease. Philanthropy also establishes new research institutes with novel structures. The Broad Institute, created by the Broad Foundation, exemplifies this. Led by Eric Lander, it fosters interdisciplinary research. The Howard Hughes Medical Institute's Janelia Farm also promotes innovative interdisciplinary work. Opened in 2006, it offers a creative environment for long-term projects. Janelia Farm focuses on neural circuits and new imaging technologies. Stimulating innovation. Philanthropic organizations offer competitive grants to challenge investigators to propose innovative work. The Doris Duke Charitable Foundation supports interdisciplinary collaboration. Their Clinical Interfaces Award program supports cross-disciplinary clinical research. Grants included studies on new viral pathogens. The Innovation in Clinical Research Award program funds pilot grants for new areas. These grants generate preliminary data for larger NIH grants. Projects include cardiovascular research and low-cost diagnostics. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's Grand Challenges in Global Health supports major global health challenges. These programs encourage creative minds worldwide, advocating for resources and policy changes. The philanthropic sector played a critical role in galvanizing public attention to the HIV/AIDS epidemic. ACT UP, started in 1987, made history as a passionate advocacy group raising public awareness of AIDS. Their efforts led to faster FDA approval times for antiretrovirals. By the mid-1990s, government support for HIV research had substantially increased. Philanthropic organizations like the Rockefeller Foundation and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation committed funds to HIV research. The Aaron Diamond Foundation, AMFAR and EGPAF provided significant support for HIV research. Irene Diamond led the Aaron Diamond Foundation, investing in AIDS research starting in 1985. The foundation committed over $50 million to AIDS research. It established the Aaron Diamond AIDS Research Center, the first U.S. research center devoted solely to AIDS. Work at the center led to the development of protease inhibitor drugs to treat HIV/AIDS. AMFAR raised over $300 million to support its mission of ending the global AIDS epidemic. EGPAF focuses on pediatric AIDS, raising funds to prevent mother-to-child transmission of HIV. The philanthropic sector's influence in advancing HIV/AIDS research serves as a noteworthy example of patient advocacy. This model has been emulated by other disease-specific organizations advocating for policy changes in research, translating discoveries into cures and improved health, targeting translational gaps for better health outcomes. One approach to increasing the pipeline of potential drugs and other products and decreasing the lag time between discovery and product development has been to create public-private partnerships, known as Product Development Partnerships, PDPs, to share the costs and enhance the efficiency of product development. One of the first PDPs was the International AIDS Vaccine Initiative, IAVI, which was started in 1996 with support from the Rockefeller Foundation and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It was created to address the need to devote more resources than are currently available to develop an AIDS vaccine, and to ensure that vaccine candidates were devised that protected people from the HIV variants most common in developing countries. Today, with the support of many donors worldwide, IAVI has a network of 11 collaborating research laboratories in Africa and India, its own in-house research facilities and numerous academic, government and industry partners. Its research portfolio includes translational studies aimed at designing new HIV vaccine candidates and conducting clinical trials of existing vaccine candidates. This approach has been used extensively by philanthropic organizations interested in developing drugs and other products that target diseases of poverty that disproportionately affect people in developing countries, such as visceral leishmaniasis, malaria, tuberculosis, and sleeping sickness. With funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and others, partnerships such as the Drugs for Neglected Disease Initiative and the Medicines for Malaria Initiative have set up virtual drug development enterprises to address this critical research gap. The Drugs for Neglected Disease Initiative, which was launched by Médecins Sans Frontières, MSF, in 2003 as a partnership with 5 public sector institutions, delivered 2 anti-malarial products in 2007 and 2008, and now is developing in partnership with Sanofi Aventis, the only new clinical candidate in the drug pipeline to treat human African trypanosomiasis, sleeping sickness. It is noteworthy that many of these organizations have been supported primarily by contributions from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. One of the challenges for many PDPs will be whether they will be able to diversify their funding sources to obtain sufficient support until they can bring products to the market. Nonetheless, It is likely that this model will continue to play an important role in developing new drugs and diagnostics, particularly for disease areas for which there is not a robust commercial market, such as rare diseases and diseases predominantly affecting the developing world. An increasingly common requirement for many funding organizations is that the data obtained from the researchers they fund are shared with other researchers and the larger public. In addition, many of these organizations provide incentives to encourage researchers and institutions to work together. Driving the mandates that data are shared openly and the incentives to encourage collaboration is the knowledge that development of new therapies, cures, and preventions for human disease has not kept pace with the extraordinary advances in biomedical knowledge. It has been estimated that it takes an average of 24 years between the first description or patent of a potential therapy and demonstration of its clinical effectiveness. Patient-driven philanthropic organizations have been particularly vocal about the need to get the biggest return from their investments, which means faster delivery of new products for less money. Although many issues underlie this extraordinary lag time and associated increases in the cost of product development, sharing more information pre-competitively should enable groups to learn from each other's mistakes and successes, thereby enhancing the efficiency of the process. To ensure that the data collected are optimally useful, some funders, such as the Multiple Myeloma Research Consortium, have created central data warehouses to ensure that data are widely accessible and available in an interpretable format, and that they can be aggregated and, when possible, linked to existing biological samples. The compelling logic of this type of data sharing has begun to pervade the for-profit pharmaceutical industry as well. Many of the patient groups cited act as virtual biotechnology companies, guiding laboratory discoveries through preclinical development and into clinical studies. However, the translation of an academic discovery into a commercial product faces significant obstacles on the level of managing intellectual property. To address this issue, the Ewing Marion Kaufman Foundation established the iBridge Network, which provides linkages between academic discoveries and entrepreneurs seeking to commercialize them in the form of a searchable online forum. The network aims to exploit the long tail of university-based innovation by aggregating inventions and discoveries that otherwise would be sequestered behind the technology transfer processes within universities. The Kaufman Foundation also has funded Science Commons, which is developing standard tools to reduce the transaction costs associated with transfer of scientific materials and to stimulate exchange and innovation. Although the Kaufman Foundation is not a voluntary health agency, its efforts to disseminate innovative discoveries should lower the barriers for success for patient groups that are funding the actual research. In recognition of the importance of collaboration between the government and for-profit and non-profit sectors, the US Congress has chartered several foundations that are connected to federal agencies. The Foundation for the National Institutes of Health, FNIH, allows the NIH to partner with non-governmental organizations to speed the translation of basic scientific discoveries into new therapies, cures, and preventions for human diseases. In an era of reduced budgets and escalating research and development, R&D costs, the FNIH serves as a neutral convener of NIH and other partners, encouraging open dialogue and collaboration to approach problems from every angle, and leverages funding and resources from all stakeholders for the maximum possible impact. One of the major initiatives of the FNIH is the Biomarkers Consortium, in which a variety of stakeholders, including government, industry, academia and patient advocacy, and other non-profit private sector organizations are working together to identify, develop and qualify potential biological markers or biomarkers that can be used as indicators of normal biological processes, pathogenic processes, or pharmacologic responses to therapeutic intervention. One of the potentially groundbreaking projects of the Biomarkers Consortium is the I-SPY 2 trial, which is using an adaptive clinical trial design to screen promising new treatments in breast cancer patients. This trial design may enhance the efficiency of screening new cancer treatments.